Also, starting to feel like she mess with dudes that keep the cape out on they do-rag. Hey, y'all gotta admit though, that shit was funny. Hey though, sex simplicity hats coming soon.
Would be like my healing chapter.
I was really excited about that.
A lot of wounds are being closed and aided at this point, and the wounds are being nurtured as well and closed up for good, you know. So I think for me, this is my chapter of
Imagine finding out the deepest secrets of a celebrity's life straight from their own handwriting. That's exactly what fans claim happened when pages of Teyana Taylor's private diary were allegedly leaked online. The internet has been buzzing, non-stop, trying to piece together what's real, what's fake, and how someone could have gotten their hands on something so intimate. These diary entries are raw, emotional, and shockingly personal, detailing her deepest thoughts about her ex-husband Iman Shumpert, a possible new love interest Pierre, and her silent battles with mental health. Each line feels like a cry from the heart, and fans are stunned by the vulnerability in her words. Could this be the truth she was never able to speak out loud? One thing is certain. Whether these pages are real or not, they've flipped the public narrative upside down and pulled Teyana into the spotlight in a way no one saw coming. The alleged leak reportedly includes several scanned pages that look like they came straight from a personal diary. The handwriting appears consistent throughout, and each entry is dated over the span of more than a year. They begin with raw emotional lines like, "Why do I keep letting him in? And I can't. Breathe when I'm near him." Many of the pages directly mention Iman Shumpert, describing arguments that left her feeling invisible and broken. She even describes moments when she considered walking away, but stayed for the sake of her children. In contrast, Aaron is described like a light in her darkness, someone who listened when no one else did. But perhaps the most heartbreaking line in the entire collection reads, "I never thought I'd cry over someone who was never truly mine to begin with." That sentence alone has been reposted thousands of times and feels like the emotional centerpiece of the leak. As the pages went viral, fans and internet sleuths immediately began analyzing them for authenticity. Many pointed out that the handwriting closely resembles letters Teyana posted on her Instagram years ago. Same curves, same spacing, same emotional tone. That's convinced a lot of fans that the diary is real. However, there's been no official confirmation from Teyana or her team. Rumors have started swirling that a former friend might have leaked the pages after a falling out, possibly selling them to a gossip site. Others believe the whole thing is AI generated, from the handwriting to the language patterns. But even skeptics admit it's eerily accurate and aligns perfectly with events that played out in public. The timing of certain entries and how they match up with her appearances, emotional speeches, or public absences has only fueled the belief that this may be Teyana's rawest truth yet. One of the most talked about parts of the diary focuses on Teyana's relationship with Iman Shumpert. She reportedly writes, "He made me feel like I was too much and not enough at the same time." In another emotional passage, she says, "I begged him to meet me halfway, but he was already miles away." These entries suggest a long period of emotional disconnection and possibly even unfaithfulness before she ever filed for divorce. Teyana allegedly reveals that she kept trying to hold the marriage together for the sake of their daughters, but she felt more like a shell of herself with every passing day. One line reads, "I stayed long after my spirit left," which has become one of the most quoted pieces from the diary online. Fans who once saw them as a perfect couple are now reckoning with the idea that behind closed doors, it was anything but. Several pages of the diary dive into Teyana's surprising emotional bond with actor Pierre. She describes meeting him during one of the hardest moments of her life and feeling like he was a breath of fresh air. In her words, he was sunlight after the storm, someone who didn't try to fix her but just sat with her in the silence. They shared late-night talks, emotional confessions, and moments of laughter she hadn't felt in years. But it wasn't all perfect. One entry talks about catching him texting another woman and feeling her old trauma resurface. She writes, "How do you trust when your heart is still bleeding?" These entries show a complicated, deeply human struggle, wanting to believe in love again but being terrified of more heartbreak. It paints Aaron not as a villain, but as part of Teyana's process of healing. even if that healing came with new wounds. In one of the most striking lines of her diary, she writes, "The world only loves me when I'm unbreakable, but I've been breaking quietly for years." This sentence has resonated with many as it highlights the immense pressure placed on public figures, especially Black women, who are expected to carry the weight of the world with grace and without complaint. The vulnerability Teyana shows in these diary entries has sparked massive online conversations about the mental toll of fame, particularly the emotional burdens faced by women who are constantly under scrutiny. For fans, Teyana's words have painted a picture of the struggles she has faced behind closed doors, and many have flooded her social media with messages of support, offering words of encouragement and understanding. Her openness has created a connection with her audience that goes beyond her career as a performer. They now see her not only as an entertainer, but as a woman who has been quietly battling for her peace. Many fans expressed admiration for her courage in sharing such personal aspects of her life, with some acknowledging that they had no idea the depth of her struggles. These revelations have humanized Teyana in ways that her public persona could never capture. The diary entries have painted a portrait of someone who, despite outward success, has had to confront difficult emotional realities in private. When the diary entries were leaked, the response on social media was swift and intense. Platforms like Twitter and TikTok exploded with hashtags like #ProtectTeyana and #TeyanaDiary, which quickly climbed to the top of trending lists. The emotional power of her words has touched so many, and fans have shared how the diary entries brought them to tears. It's not just the pain Teyana describes that has moved people, but also the sense of connection her words have sparked. So many individuals felt seen and understood in her experiences. For some, Teyana's openness gave them the language to express emotions they had long kept hidden. Her vulnerability has become a voice for those who have faced similar struggles, especially those who have felt the burden of maintaining an image of perfection in the face of personal hardship. While the emotional outpouring of support for Teyana has been overwhelming, the leak of her private thoughts has also sparked significant backlash. Many fans expressed fury at those who were involved in leaking the diary, with some accusing Iman and Aaron of taking advantage of Teyana's vulnerability for their own gain. For these individuals, the leak felt like an invasion of her privacy, a violation of her trust. In their eyes, the leak was a betrayal, especially considering the deeply personal nature of the content. The debate quickly turned into one about respect for privacy and the ethics of sharing someone's most intimate thoughts without their consent. At the same time, a slew of conspiracy theories began to emerge. Some questioned whether the leak was a calculated move meant to sabotage Teyana's career or to push her into an emotional breakdown. The idea that this might have been done with malicious intent gained traction, as people speculated that whoever was behind the leak wanted to see Teyana unravel. Whether this theory is true or not remains unclear, but the speculation highlights how emotionally charged the situation has become. The combination of the rawness of Teyana's words and the circumstances surrounding the leak has made her story not just a celebrity scandal, but a deeply personal and emotional one that people feel invested in. Regardless of the true motives behind the leak, it's clear that Teyana's pain has touched a nerve with the public. The internet, for better or worse, has become emotionally invested in her story. The leak, whether accidental or intentional, has turned her private struggles into a public conversation. Fans, celebrities, and commentators have weighed in, and in many ways, her pain has become a mirror for so many others who have struggled with their mental health but lacked the platform or opportunity to speak out. Through her vulnerability, Teyana has become a voice for those who have felt trapped in their own struggles, offering solidarity to those who have endured similar hardships but never had the words to express them. In this way, her leaked diary has unintentionally become a catalyst for much-needed discussions about mental health, self-care, and the emotional toll of fame, especially for women of color. The celebrity world didn't stay silent either. Within hours, major stars started posting messages of support. Cardi B tweeted, "I don't know what's true or not, but sis don't deserve this pain." Gabrielle Union shared one of the diary quotes, "Turn your pain into power," on her IG story and added, "To every woman healing in silence, you're not alone." These kinds of responses added credibility to the leak, making it feel even more real. Interestingly, neither Iman nor Aaron has commented publicly on the situation. Their silence is loud, and fans are taking note. For many, it feels like Teyana has been left alone to handle the emotional aftermath of something she never asked for. A source close to Iman reportedly told gossip blogs that he was shocked and hurt by what was written in the diary. According to the insider, Iman had no idea she felt that way and believed they had reached a peaceful co-parenting space. While he hasn't said anything officially, the same source claimed he's now worried about how this will affect his public image and his relationship with their daughters. This kind of behind-the-scenes scrambling shows just how seriously he's taking the leak. But for many fans, the question isn't about Iman's reputation. It's about why Teyana had to suffer in silence for so long. Whether or not he speaks out, the damage to his family man image may already be done. Aaron Pierre, on the other hand, has been completely silent since the leak dropped. His social media has gone dark, and fans have flooded his last few posts with questions about whether he ever truly loved Teyana. Some are accusing him of stepping into her life when she was vulnerable, and then backing away when things got too real. Others believe he did care for her, but maybe wasn't ready for the weight of a woman still healing from past trauma. His silence has only added to the speculation, and until he addresses the situation, fans will continue to question what his role really was in all of this. Now the big question is, what will Teyana do next? Some insiders say she's considering legal action to track down the person who leaked her private pages. Others believe she might channel this pain into her art, maybe through a raw, soul-bearing album or even a documentary that tells the story in her own voice. She's already posted cryptic messages like, "They wanted to break me. Instead, they gave me fuel." Whatever she chooses, it's clear that fans are behind her all the way. They want her to own her story, reclaim her voice, and turn this betrayal into something powerful. And knowing Teyana Taylor, she's more than capable of turning pain into purpose. So what do you think? Are the leaked diary pages real or just a twisted hoax? Should Teyana respond publicly or let the pages speak for themselves? And if you were in her shoes, would you ever trust anyone again? Comment your thoughts below, subscribe for more updates, and stay tuned. This story is far from over.